Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. So to quickly recap what has been going on in the last episode, we had a mech cluster land up here, and it was dormant, and then a Reaper raid triggered it, which is what I intended. Unfortunately for me, most of the mechs attacked me, not the Reapers, so it was quite a fight for our lives. Now that most of my guys are wounded and moody, I'm going to very temporarily take them off a firefight so that they can bed rest. We do have 2 pikemen left in the kill box here, but I'm going to have the automated defenses deal with them instead of my colonists because of the, penalizing moods and all that. Now, there is still a centipede over here, which is going to destroy this lamp and then come into my kill box eventually. And then there were 2 Reapers up here left, but they have since been shot by the mech cluster. I received some feedback from Jack mentioning that it might be in my best interest to move the deadfall traps to above and below the turrets rather than straight on. And the reason being for that, that when enemies are diverted from the front turrets, they're going to step to the side, either up or down, and they are far more likely to trigger those traps. So that's a really good tip, and we'll take that advice. All right, so here is the Mr. Centipede lamp crusher. Good job, you killed that lamp. And now that I'm going to have Gabe go fight those fires up top, we are going to have a bit of a power shortage without that geothermal generator unless I can take out the sun blocker, which maybe I work towards. So we have a lot of people in hospital beds, just healing up from mostly superficial wounds, nothing all that serious. But a lot of our turrets here are just about out of ammo, or broken, or both. And it does occur to me that I don't have a nice renewable source of... I don't have a nice renewable source of uranium. I have steel, right? Like I have steel here, and I have steel pretty much everywhere. Steel is not the issue, but uranium is. And as a result of that, I might want to rely more heavily on autocannon turrets, these guys, which fire steel, rather than uranium turrets, which obviously fire uranium. Because seems to me I'm not going to have the source of uranium to be able to keep firing uranium turrets. Unless I strike pay dirt with a lot of like underground nodes. I can't use long-range mineral scanners because of the rules of the series. The rule of the series, of course, is that I don't settle multiple tiles. So I'm stuck here as a result of that rule. And long-range mineral scanning is, not permissible. All right, so here's that turret. Not turret. Here's that mech. And we're going to see if my fire foams work, if they fire on the back row. He may not. But very, very quickly, these auto cannon turrets are running out of ammo. So I'm going to have JD, you rearm that one, and Hippie, you rearm this one. And then there's still a mech assembler up here that I'm going to need to deal with too. Unfortunately, oh no, there it goes. Worked like a charm. And it stops subsequent fire-based attacks, as you can see. Can we just kill it? Okay. Dear Lord. So now, stay fortified. I'm going to allow my guys to go into this area to fix it, fight fires, etc. And then once that's all said and done, I'm going to take out the mech assembler. And hopefully the sunblocker, but that's a little bit more complicated because it's covered by a low shield. Okay, we got a flash storm. Not a whole lot of stuff that's flammable. How soon till the next centipede? 0.3 days. I will, I think, try for the centipede now, rather than waiting. So Hippie, you're pretty hurt. Raptor's pretty hurt. Leth, you're not that hurt. So Leth, Gabe, JD, Bash, and Phoenix are all gonna do this. So Bash and Phoenix head on out, and then my shooters get your sniper rifles, and then head on out. So the closest I can stand is about here. Is that right? Yeah, sort of. And I'm going to draw fire with my brawlers and then shoot the turret with my snipers. It's a pretty damaged turret, so it shouldn't be that fast. It's already gone. Swell. Next up, let's get rid of those ordered zones, those planned zones. The closest I can now stand is about here. And that should be close enough to be able to take out the assembler, which I have only a few hours before it gets printed again. And it's gone. The assembler's gone. I do want to leave the rest of these turrets here because they benefit me. They might fight Reapers. But I do want to take out the sunblocker. So for the sunblocker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my brawlers break line of sight with the sunblocker to get to this low shield. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to send them home. I don't mind the low shield either. So I'm just going to hug the sunblocker and start breaking it, leaving the low shield intact because that might really mess with Reaper's ability to fight the mech cluster. But I'm sending Hippie out here to skip these brawlers to safety. Once this shield blocker comes home, all these turrets will start lighting me up. All right, so just stand there for a second. Oh, Hippie's already ready. So Hippie, how close can you get? You can get about here. Nope, apparently not. Okay, there we go. So the brawlers will have to walk like 5 cells or so towards Hippie, or she can walk towards them, but she'll be able to skip them to safety. As you can see, we are not going to be able to tank that for very long. So Bash and Phoenix, and we're done. A surgical strike so that we've left the low shield. We've left 3 mini turrets and 4 big turrets. And the rest of that mech cluster is untouched. Completely untouched. Sweet. Well, I think that's a job well done-ish. That's no place for a hero to eat a meal. So we can leave the rest of this mech cluster out here because it is doing us no harm. As long as we don't travel there, would be the caveat. And the restricted animal hauling zones are going to now be re-expanded to allow my pets to help haul. I'm going to very crudely paint some allowable zones. And then the state fortified zone. Here, let me get rid of area 1. These state fortified zones look fine too. Essentially, we just don't want to go up in this corner because that corner is dangerous. I do still want to build this wall though. This wall here is going to be important because it's going to drive future raiders into the mech cluster. So let's expand this area like this. There we go. So now we can make repairs and get the wall built to sort of direct enemies through this area. Because one of the beautiful things about that is if I have a bunch of ranged reapers here, they're going to try to be shooting these mechs, and the low shield will block their shots. So, you know, it's sort of gaming the system, but in what I would consider a beautiful way. All right, let's switch weapons back. And now my power generation is sort of back to normal, and I can turn benches and the like back on and not have to worry about the shortages that I was experiencing. Because we have sunlight. Beautiful, beautiful sunlight to offset the grow lights. Nope, speaking of power, let's turn these off, though. So we have a ton of turrets to repair and rearm, which is to be expected after a fight like that. Fortunately, the terrible speech that Raptor gave has now subsided. We are no longer suffering the consequences of it, so mood will improve. I find it relatively hilarious that Raptor, with his really high social skill, only gives bad speeches. There's something just sort of hilarious to me about that, because it is such a small chance that his speeches are as bad as they are, and yet he continues to give terrible ones. All right. Things are ever so slightly back to normal. Ever so slightly. One thing I might want to do is to not allow this area, which is now fireproof as a result of the fire foam poppers, not allow this area to be cleaned, and then very carefully micromanage repairing the autocannon turrets. So that would look something like this, where we just put one little corner here, because the fire foam itself is what gives the, you know, the terrain and the ground the ability to resist fire. And now that the turrets themselves are repaired, I can take the zones out so that someone like Hippie doesn't try to tidy it up. You can also trigger the fire foam yourself. As you can see, just right-click on the traps, and you can cause an area to be fireproof or resistant at least, without actually having to wait to be shot at. And now it's the long repair. Man, that really did to me feel like a reactor raid. It was that kind of strength, which tells me that I'm not prepared for the reactor fights, because I really did get overwhelmed there. No doubt. So all but one of my deadfall traps are set up. Then we still need to build the geothermal generator. Despite the fact that it broke, and despite the fact that I don't really need it as a power source, I still want it because I'm sure there's going to be more smoke spewers and sun blockers in the future. That's just how the mechs roll. And Hippie's going on an alcohol binge. Bummer. I had just clicked on her to try to mitigate her mood, and she beat me to it. So I'm going to load all my alcohol up into the pods, preventing access to it. And I'll sort of watch Hippie to see if there's any alcohol I missed. There's also the possibility that, depending on the length of her binge, I don't think she's going to binge 1.6 days. But, you know, I'm also fermenting alcohol, so that's another source of alcohol that might be a problem. Yeah, she's not binging anymore. She's just eating. Turned into a food binge. Which is not much better, considering the fine meals are, well, the fine meals are not replaceable, because I have a finite amount of meat. And the beer is, because I can always grow hops. But I don't want her addicted, so we'll just allow it. Now, a lot of these turrets out here, I think, yeah, they are in desperate need of repair. We're going to continue to fix up this this monument area here. That there being the one that triggered. Oh, Phoenix throwing a party. It's going to be a dry party because all the booze is locked up in a transport pod. Thanks, Hippie. Oh, and then Hippie is disturbing Raptor's sleep. Okay. Well, Raptor, once he wakes up, does have the chance to give another throne speech after the party ends, if I want to risk the bad mood again. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm just, I'm feeling a little risky. Oh no, Hippie's out of it now. Fantastic. Okay, let's make regular components up to 30, so as to allow JD to be done with that. I would like to, once I have repaired everything... once I've repaired everything, I would like to try to make stronger weapons. At least higher quality than the normal. I have 2 normal charge lances that almost anything that JD would craft now would be better than normal. So it's in my best interest to focus on that a little bit. And also, I have a ton of cotton that is about to be harvested, And that means he's going to be making corsets. Very strange thing to be making, but well, that's what the kids are buying nowadays, I guess. Could we not track in fire foam though? And a solar flare. All right, so you know how this was ready to be harvested? Oh boy. Gabe and Phoenix. I'm changing Phoenix's priority so he harvests. Because that's a lot of cotton to allow to die. And it's starting to die off. I immediately jumped to it, and it's just not enough. It's all dead. Wow. What a... Ouch. What a waste. There was a lot of resources that just went poof just now. There's also the possibility, the threat, of course, of hypothermia. So I have to watch like Angelia and Cauterize specifically because they're probably the least insulated for risk. But usually solar flares don't last that long. So as long as you sort of wait them out, you're okay. So it should be snapping out of here any second now. It's already 6 hours in. And these crab eggs are now ruined, of course. Okay, we're starting to get serious hypothermia. If I have to, it should be ending, honestly. But all right, now it's extreme. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zone a new zone in here. This is just a longer flare than I thought would flare. And I'm going to rescue them into the geothermal generator area, which should heat them right back up. There it goes, sort of. I mean, it's warmer. There's really not much else I can do other than set fires. You know, like a campfire. Okay, there we go. The solar flare is now over. Doing quite a lot of annoying damage, if I do say so myself. And we are going to reassign those beds. Raptor, you can work on them. And then as the base warms up, we can rescue the crabs. Because it's more reliably warm in base than it is out of base. So, quite a lot of frostbite head to toe, but they survived. Which it counts for something, right? Counts for something. So now that all the construction is done, except for the geothermal generator itself, that means that we should be repairing. Because we have a lot of turrets out here that are very damaged. I didn't micromanage them to repair the turrets immediately, but I guess I could have. So another thing I wanted to do is to change the crop type up here. So we're going to grow potatoes in all of it. And then I'm going to set some up for psychoid and some up for smoke leaf. And then down here, this is all supposed to be cotton. I'm going to do the corners of heel root. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Potato. I don't think I need more hops. Well, I have a lot of tea as well. Yeah. Okay. Now the crabs are fully healed. As if nothing even happened. Ooh. Hello. Slate coming in. And a ship chunk. I don't think that ship chunk... Yeah, that ship chunk is not safe. It's within the radius of the turrets. The geothermal generator's back up, so our power woes are fully over. I'm going to start mining out this steel area over here again. And Cauterize is fully healed from all the hypothermia. I feel bad because, you know, there was not much I didn't want to waste. I have a lot of wood, but I don't have a lot of confined spaces that I could have heated them up in. But maybe that's what I should have done in hindsight, is just to set some campfires down, some temporary campfires. I just didn't think the, I didn't think it would last that long, to be honest. It was a very long lasting solar flare. So let's out here, mining up the rest of this steel node that I happened upon. I'm gonna have to fill it in eventually because, of course, it is a infestation risk, and I don't want infestation spawning behind my base. We're just getting rid of the rest of the Reaper corpses that are accessible. Some of them aren't because they're too close to the mech cluster that we get shot. So, we'll be avoiding that. All right, I am thinking about weaponry. In terms of weaponry, I want to probably make a few better sniper rifles in case of large amounts of centipedes. So I'm gonna do until I have, let's do until we have one Masterwork sniper rifle. I hope that doesn't take forever. Or two, because I already have one, right? Here's a Masterwork. And then another thing I could do is Raptor. Try to inspire JD. He is a surgery inspiration. Okay, well, wear your crown. Oh, and we're assembled for... Oh, we're assembled for a marriage. For whatever reason... Oh. Gabe and Leth got married, and then... Gabe insulted Hippie, and it turned into a fight that ripped off his index finger at his own wedding. That is, well, that's a wedding, I guess. Well, here, Mr. Gabe, your wedding present will be a bionic arm that I've had in stockpile for a bit. Also, maybe don't insult one another. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Well, at least the wedding wasn't called off, but he had immediately had to go to the hospital, which is pretty dumb. Raptor, so Raptor's wearing his crown, but you don't see it on his head. So there's something wrong with that mod. I will be, I'll be mentioning that to the mod maker soon. He's one of my Patreon patrons. Crash. I don't know if it's some mod conflicts with the mod loadout I have, or if it's an actual problem with the mod. I don't know. But that's kind of funny. Okay, let's butcher these bad boys. Done. And time to work on that side focus, because of course, Words of Inspiration is a very, very expensive sidecast. And, well, we got Surgery, and then I didn't even use it. Oh man, I should have used it. I should have been the one, JD should have been the one to do the surgery on Gabe so that it would, clear. I could do like a pointless surgery. So like, if I wanted to use it up, I could just anesthetize. It would use drugs, but it'd be a good way to clear the mood here. Or not. That did not work? No, I guess that's not technically a surgery. Well, for Hippie, I suppose I could like remove a bionic body part and put it back on. I'm gonna do that, but only after Raptor has enough side focus to do another Words of Inspiration, because there's no point in doing that kind of risk if I'm not gonna have another Words of Inspiration anytime soon. Okay, so that whole node is mined out, and we're gonna fill it in with steel walls for our protection. And then we're mining out the slate chunks. So it looks like if my constructors are standing around, yeah, that everything is back up to repaired. That's good. Everybody's fully healed, and Gabe now has a bionic arm as a result of fighting. Bit of a Bucky, that one. Oh, Gabe has an inspired creativity, which is okay-ish, because he is a bit of an artist. Well, let's see. What materials do I have that I can spare for art? I'm gonna have him make a large statue. I don't really have the materials for grand, or you know what? I have enough for sandstone grand. Fine, we'll do that. It's probably not gonna turn out well, but it's something I can sell to the next like passing trade ship or whatever. So we'll give him a priority level 1. Oh, a raid of Reapers. And they're gonna prepare a while. So the raid up here is, it's perfectly placed. The raid down here, there's 8 of them. Taking a look, who is there? There's Realizer and Curvin. And there is, they're all ranged. And then up here, there's a lot more of them, but they're coming straight onto the, so there's Damien, Crunk, coming straight onto the mech cluster, which is just glorious if you ask me. And the low mech shield is doing exactly what I wanted it to. Totally denying the Reapers the ability to destroy these turrets. So these 2 mini sluggers, I think, will ultimately kill off all of these Reapers, or these Reapers are going to give up because they just can't get through the they can't get through, right? It's pretty funny. It was totally worth me delicately navigating around the low mech shield for that effect. That is awesome. Man, look at how high the mood is here for everybody. I guess they attended a wedding, and that's why there's such a positive mood. So there's only 8 of these skeletons that I'm gonna have to immediately fight. The rest are locked up north. Oh, God, that is so funny. All right, they're beginning their assault. Here they come. I will prepare as well. Oh, you know, foolishly, I have left all the heating on in here, but I guess that benefits me now because it's warm. You must be a jogger or something. No, you're not. You're just fast. All right, we are ready. And I'm going to draw them close and then turn everything on. So let me queue up all the turrets that I want on to be flicked once they're close. All right, let's pop out our portholes here. Surprise! Drawing him back in a little closer. Although he's almost dead. Curvin deciding to go north to help out the other raid party, I guess. Here, brawlers, you want a little fun? Sure. Everybody else, you're free to go. Go for lunch. Sorry, Boone. Splat. I don't know what he's doing at all. But yeah, these guys have not made no headway on these mini slugger turrets. Totally trolled. Maverick is in a bit of danger. Hey Mav, would you turn around? Go to pets inside. I have my brawlers come in to help. Don't hit my Maverick. That's a lot of go juice. Well, it will take a long time. Oh, there's Klein in here as well. It'll take a long time, but I think, oh, and Can. These Reapers are, well, they just don't have enough computing power to realize that their tactics are flawed. Oh. It's relatively hilarious to me. And we have an eclipse going on. So a sunblocker into an eclipse. Seems fine, because I do generate a ton of power. Yep. Such a strange fight up there. That is the beauty of a low shield left to troll raiders. It's great. So we've made one good sniper rifle, but obviously I'm looking for Masterworks. Raptor doesn't have enough psi focus for another inspiration yet. Our steel has bounced back, but only up to about 500, so I could certainly stand to benefit from mining up some additional steel. Hippie is cutting these stones that we have. Raptor is butchering the last of the Reapers that made it through. These guys are giving up and leaving. Yep. That's right. God, that was hilarious. Thank you, Mech Cluster, for being such a reliable defender. That you caused the Reapers to give up and leave. It is the 1st of April, May. It's the 1st of spring now. I think what I'm going to do is try to do more ground penetrating radar scans. Although Raptor is going to have to get his psi focus up a bunch, so he's not going to immediately scan. So let's keep that off until his psi focus is up. I also want to try to give a throne speech. I'm sure I can't be 3 for 3 for terrible speeches in a row. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, right? I said jinxing it entirely. Oh, he has an inspiration himself from his high mood. All right, so my chance for a terrible speech is 3.6%. I'll take those odds. All right, go attend the speech. I just wanted him to do a little extra work. Okay, how trolled am I going to be? We'll see. Oh, it's encouraging. It's not. That was the most likely scenario of the throne speech. Oh, who moved my toque? Yeah, we'll keep the. Oh no, let's put the prestige on, and then haul the coronet. For whatever reason, yeah, things aren't updating up here, like I said earlier. So he's wearing the prestige helmet, but it don't look like it. All right, let's continue filling in the infestation risk area. And what else can we do? I don't really need plasteel. I have 600. So what I would like to do, yeah, is just wait for Raptor to get his psi focus back up and to start deep drilling. Or deep drill searching, I should say. Eclipse is over. And fibrous mechanites for Hippie and Phoenix. That's rough. I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, Doctor Care, no meds for them. So it's not all bad because, of course, you move and manipulate faster, but you're going to be in pain. All right, that looks good. We now have 5 sniper rifles. I think I'm only going to allow this last one to be made. The sniper rifles that I made so far have been good and good. Which at his skill level of 19 is kind of ridiculously bad. That I wouldn't even get an excellent out of him. So I will make no more. It's good to have 1 sniper rifle each for each of your ranged fighters, so that if you have a big swarm of centipedes, all of the people that are ranged in your colony can contribute to the fight. Quality, of course, matters, but not at the cost of wasting my components, which went down from 30 to 6 in the pursuit of mediocre rifles, which has been the case. And we got an excellent one out of him. So let's go ahead and kill the sniper bill. I'd probably turn off that bench entirely. And turn our attentions back towards getting some additional components and advanced components. Gabe is trying for a grand statue that he is an inspiration for, but he only has an art of like 10. It was 9, but it leveled up. That's about the end of this episode. I really hope that you appreciated me pitting my enemies against one another. I feel like that was so funny to me, but I hope that you can use those sort of tactics. I did that twice in a row. Every time I get a mech cluster, I design a way to exploit that mech cluster for my benefit. And that is essentially min-maxing. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.